I have some extra people around. Mel and Raymond came to help out with painting, and then we took way more trips to Lowe's than we should have because we were incapable of getting everything we needed in one trip. And it's been a good time, so we also watched a movie on Netflix. We watched a Netflix original film called ANON. It's a relatively new Netflix film. It's only been out for like a couple months, I think. And it stars...
Clive Owen and Amanda Seyfried.
Good. I wouldn't have said those names right. It's about a like future where I guess your eyeballs have screens in them.
They call it the mind's eye.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an implant.
I think it is an implant.
But like literally a baby has it. So like everyone's got it. Because they look through the eyes of a baby at some point. So it's not like something you make a decision to have. It's just like everyone has a camera inside of their eyeballs, but then also like an overlay so that like in your eyeballs you can see things. So like if I looked at Amanda, it would show me her name, her age, and I guess your designation, like occupation.
Sometimes it's occupation, but there was also one lady that was declared like a socialite.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't call a job.
I mean, they make money off of it. Like Paris Hilton is a socialite. She has money. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I would categorize her as an heiress. I don't really know. But you can also see like other things, like
if you look further, it gives you like more details about their life.
Or about anything.
Yeah.
Like
even a chair.
Yes. There's like a paragraph on like description of the chair.
Also, all of the buildings, like the world is like the drabbest looking world. Like it was all like slate gray, everything. But like in your eyeballs, there are ads on the buildings.
And you can choose to turn them off, which is cool. You can just like decide to not see ads.
Yeah, which is weird.
Like ad block for your mind.
But in the film, people only do that when they're depressed. So clearly, only depressed people turn off ads. Yeah, so there's like some interesting things with that, like the idea that your eyes, so then they're putting stuff in front of your eyes so you see these ads that aren't really there and you see other things that aren't really there. Something else that struck me as odd in this future world is that every car was a replica. Like that's what they all said. Mm-hmm. It was like replica, as if like A, old cars don't exist anymore, and B, they don't make new cars, they just make replicas of old cars. But the plot...
What?
Your turn. I'll make you tell the plot.
But I don't even really know. Okay, so, without ruining anything,
oh no, you can definitely ruin.
Series of murders.
This is full of spoilers. If you want to watch ANON on Netflix, go watch it now.
Okay, so there's a detective, and they find out that there's like a series of murders going on, but the person is unidentified, which is really weird because everyone in this movie is identified, like they're all in this giant database. But the thing that makes it hard to identify the person is that when they kill their target, what the target sees is the murderer's point of view.
So they like.
So you never see the person who's murdering.
What blows my mind is that like, so you're watching it from their point of view, and ideally the person who's getting shot is seeing the same thing you are. So what they're seeing is somebody like walking up to them with a gun and like pointing it at their face, and yet everyone who's getting shot is like, what's happening? What's happening?
I mean, I can understand that it would be disorienting to no longer be in your own frame of
I
reference.
get that, but at some point when I see a gun literally at my own head, I feel like I would punch someone.
Well, yeah.
Like, I also feel like
React
the first thing I would be doing was just like flailing back. Like, if I'm gonna be looking around like crazy, I'm also gonna be flailing my arms to try and get away.
Yeah, I mean, like, the first couple people were like, what are you doing? And then, like, the two chicks were like, wait, no, don't hurt her, kill me. Like,
Yeah, it was really strange.
what?
Like, they're gonna kill both of you. That's the point of this murder.
Yeah. And so then you discover that there's this girl played by
Amanda Seyfried.
thanks, who has super hacking abilities and has just erased herself from existence. And then she goes and alters people's memories to get rid of things that they don't want. So clearly, if you're recording literally everything all the time, you're probably doing some stuff you shouldn't. And so she helps erase those things. Because otherwise, no, it's a strange world where, like, everything is recorded like that.
But, like, it's usually not things that are, like, super bad. Like, a murder would... Your device automatically detects something as bad as a murder.
Yeah,
and so you
detects a
can't get
crime.
away from that.
Mhm.
But something like cheating on your girlfriend, she would be able to...
Yeah, and it's
Get rid
clear
of.
that she has a moral code. So they find her, and all of the people that are dying are people that she was helping erase things with. So it seems kind of suspicious.
Dun, dun, dun.
But of course, Clive Owen falls in love with her, so she can't possibly be the killer. Rule number one.
Nice.
Same thing that happened in So Undercover. You know,
True.
she fell in love with the guy. He can't possibly be the killer. Now, super spoilers. In a weird twist, it was this guy who was working for the cops. I did not see that one coming.
Me either.
I feel like it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming, which is unusual, and I feel like I didn't see it coming because I didn't feel it set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much felt like, boo, this is actually what happened. It wasn't like carefully crafted in such a way that you're like, oh, that's wild, but it totally makes sense. Like, it just kind of didn't make sense.
Yeah, it really
But they
did.
explained it in the end where, like, the two had...
Yeah, well, that
people are
neither
talking.
of them had agreed to put him on. I got that, but, like, why did he care so much that he was, like, hunting down...
I think they had some sort of relationship because she seemed to know him. When
Yeah.
he was like grabbing her and stuff, he's like they seemed to know each other, and she was like, "You were protecting me this whole time," you know, like
Yeah,
It kind of seemed like they had a relationship, but they didn't reveal what that relationship was.
Yeah, I felt that
Because she was like, I don't know you. And he was like, but I know you. And then he said something, and she was like, oh, you were the one protecting me.
yeah,
That
he was
sort
like
of thing.
the proxy. I don't know. It was
So
just
they
a
knew each other
little.
online, I
It was
guess.
a little
Or in
weak.
the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethernet. Haha.
Ha 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 ha.
Uh,
But yeah, so this guy got himself into working with them.
The police.
Yeah, into working with the police by hacking one of the head honchos and pretty much recommending himself to another head honcho. And so at the end they're like, oh, but you recommended him to me. And he was like, no, I didn't. I didn't even know who this was.
yeah.
Wild.
So he snuck himself in there, but it wasn't necessarily the strongest, like, motive for a killer or reveal or setup for him
Yeah.
to be a thing.
Yeah.
But there was some cool ideas in this. The concept is terrifying,
Yes.
but also awesome. And there's this bit where they hack his eyeballs and make him see things that aren't there. And that is really interesting. Like,
Yes.
the idea that somebody could hack into my eyes and I would see,
Rats.
rats
Everywhere.
all over the floor.
Fire in the hallway.
Fire.
Fire in the hallway. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Yeah, should you ever see fire in the hallway, we have learned from this film that the number one thing you should do is
Shoot at it.
fire a
Of
gun.
course.
The best way to get rid of fire.
Shoot the fire.
Shoot the fire. Fire at the fire. That's the only option.
Fire at the fire.
Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting concept. And also, everything you have is recorded and you can play it back, but the hackers come in and delete certain things, which is not quite the same as deleting your memories, because clearly, like, you still remember it, like I still remember it. But if you've grown up in a world where, from infancy, you have all these things recorded and you play them back, I bet memory doesn't work the same way.
Well, I bet you take less. You assert less effort to try and remember things because you think you have it available to you.
Yeah, it's like when you make family videos and you're like, I don't really have to remember what that was because I can watch the video.
Yeah, that's how I feel about all these YouTube videos, guys. I'm not remembering any of this. All
No,
right.
but there was like really cool stuff in it. Like anytime something drove by that was playing music, it automatically identified the song. Or like when you looked up at the stars, it identified all the stars and all the constellations.
Yeah, you can see like where this technology would be like, ooh, that would be cool. And then on the flip side, you can see where, ooh, that would suck.
Yeah.
It's like that meme, that like other girl meme where it's like the guy looking over his shoulder. And
Oh,
the girl
yeah.
like it's like your life is that all the time. You're just getting caught looking over your shoulder at someone else's butt all the time. Because there are moments like the cops don't even have anything to do.
Yeah.
Although I did like that he full out got to make his own decisions, because there's this bit where the socialite lost a very fancy diamond bracelet, and it's because the maid stole it and sold it to pay her rent. And as the cop, Clive Owen was like, I don't see anything, and then like shows this clip of the maid just like looking down at an empty counter, and she's like, what happened? How is that possible? And he goes, I don't know. We don't have footage in there. We only have footage in people. And she's like, oh, fine. And she storms off all upset. And then the other guy's like, but you didn't show her what happened 5 minutes ago. And you see the maid steal the bracelet. And he was like, yeah, and I didn't show her what happened 4 hours later when she sold that bracelet to pay her rent. I don't like that woman.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So not only can you solve every crime, but you can just sit there and be like, I don't want to solve this crime.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
like,
want to solve it.
it was super. I also thoroughly enjoyed that, like, people still have lawyers, but there's not really a point
Why?
to lawyers. Because with, like, the drunk guy that shot,
An unarmed
yeah,
black man.
who had a Bible, like, he was, like, holding his Bible.
He was
And-
reaching for it in his jacket pocket.
Yeah, and so the man reaching for the Bible was shot, and he was like, well, he didn't know that he wasn't reaching for a gun, and he just, like, rewinded to earlier in the night, and he was like, yeah, well, your client was also super drunk, so...
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, too bad. That's why you need an eraser, guys, to erase the drinking. Yeah, so it creates a strange world, but it was fun. It's an enjoyable film. If you like sort of creepy, futuristic sci-fi, I would say like sort of like Black Mirror is, but not quite as twisty. But I had a good time. So check out ANON on Netflix if you want to, and maybe tomorrow I'll do something that isn't watching a movie and reviewing it, but probably not. I'll see you tomorrow. Did Raymond do it?
Yes, he did it.
Wow.